Hello, Eric Vogelin from Old Shasta Coffee Company here. In January, my wife Jody and I purchased this amazing 1949 Probat Roaster from a roaster on Whidbey Island. We disassembled and brought it back to Redding, California, where it's been on display at our cafe. So let me take you around the roaster and show you what this thing is all about. Right here, the most obvious guy is the cooling tray. It's used to cool the coffee after roasting. Here we have the roaster drum and the roaster door where the hot coffee comes pouring out of when the roast is completed. You'll see all of these operations in action in a moment. This is the sampler. It is used to test the coffee, to see when the coffee is ready, as well as listening to the cracks of the coffee through this door. The green coffee goes into the upper drum, and you can see the green coffee in the window when it's ready. When you have your roaster up to temperature, you let all the beans fall into the drum, which is rotating. The roaster stays on all day long while you're roasting. Once the green beans have all emptied into the drum, make sure that nothing else will get into the roast while it's going. Around the back side, we have the business end. Here's our motor, our belt, our main belt for our drum drive, our secondary belt, which takes care of cooling tray, exhaust fan, and our third belt runs our exhaust blower, which takes our smoke and heat and will go and connect up to a chimney for exhausting all of the hot smoke out of the building. None of that has been hooked up at this point because we're not going to actually do any roasting here. We're just simply doing the maintenance, checking, and inspection to take care of any issues that need to be addressed. Here, where there's a nice workshop to work on it. Electrical control panel and also control over some of the gas firing of the roaster. We just have things temporarily wired up, as you can see. Main power is temporarily coming out, is 240. We have two legs of 120 volt and the white neutral. So from that we can build our 240 single phase. The motor on this is a three-phase 240 volt motor. So we have a voltage frequency converter that also takes care of phase conversion as well. This guy can be used to adjust the motor speed through frequency changes. The other box down here is our motor controllers, on, off, our burner on, off, emergency stop, and our main fuses to power everything. Let's get this thing started. So the first thing we need to do is get the pilot going, the pilot light, and we'll do that before we get the drum rotating and all that. The drum must be rotating when we actually have full flame and are doing the roast, but initially we can just get the pilot going and make sure that goes safely. So we put power on, and then once that's done, we're going to leave our burner off. We're not going to start that. Emergency switch has pulled out. We're not starting the motor at this point. We're going to come over to our temporary propane connection, and we're going to open up our propane tank. And we are going to come on over to our gas valve, and we are going to turn it on to pilot. The pilot gas is not going at this time, but inside we can see we have a spark in order to ignite it. So unfortunately this requires two hands, so I'm going to get that going right now. All right, as you can see, the flame has started. After the flame first lights, you must hold the pilot valve open by pressing this long enough so that the return heater sensor can make sure that the gas valve knows that the pilot is lit. Once that's lit, you then can let the pressure off of this and the pilot will just stay lit. We can now turn the gas valve to on. We're now ready to light the rest of the burners, which are inside. But before we do that, we need to start the motor and turn the burner on. Even if you turn the burner on and you try to light the main burners, they will not go on. No power is provided to the gas valve unless you start the motor. So we'll start up the roaster. We'll turn on the burner. Now that we have our pilot light going, we have our burner switch on. We can now bring the low valve in, and we have our fire starting on our low setting. We can also then bring in our full burners on, and there we go. We have full burners on. And you can see those burners going on in there. We also have various ways of seeing how much gas we are drawing. You can also see the direction of the drum is counterclockwise. This is how the beans would normally be roasted. As you can see, there's a window and you'd be able to see the beans tumbling inside the roaster, changing from their light green to yellow, dark brown, to your nice dark roasted coffee. When they're done, you need to turn the stirring tray arms on with this lever. This engages this throw out, and that turns your arms. You then also engage the exhaust blower that pulls air through all of the beans and through the mesh, the stainless mesh. And you open the door and you let your beans out. Alright, so now we're going to shut down. It's all done. Bring our main burners off. And our other burner. And now we must keep this drum running for quite a while. We're at 102 degrees right now. So we'll let this cool down before we actually stop the motor. So we will turn off all the gas. Turn the burner off.